So, as we've heard, the Labour leader is calling for schools in England to close, but at the moment, it's a confusing picture right across the UK. In Scotland, we now know they'll remain shut until the 1st of February. Wales will begin phasing students back from the 11th of this month, and pupils in Northern Ireland will be taught online until the 11th before a phased return. Meanwhile, in England, most primary schools have returned today. But those in London and other hotspots won't open until the 18th at the earliest, except for vulnerable and key worker children. And elsewhere, dozens of other schools have stayed shut as they don't have enough staff, as our chief correspondent Tessa Chapman reports.
This is one of our Year 2 classrooms.
Like most primaries in England, this school in Bedfordshire is set to open as planned, but with the unions urging teachers to stay away, contradicting the government's insistence schools are safe, the head feels stuck in the middle.
The only decision that we can make about opening or not is based on whether we have enough staff, because the government simply haven't given us guidance to say that the measures that we already have, such as keeping bubbles separate, is no longer sufficient.
But teacher shortages have forced many dozens of schools to shut at short notice, and some are making their own decisions to join the 50 high transmission areas, including London, where primary schools have already moved online.
We in Buckinghamshire have got rates of infection that are the same as or worse than some of the areas which have gone into full lockdown. Therefore, we are going rogue and making our own decisions for the safety of our staff.
For parents, some of whom found out only last night that they'll be juggling work and homeschooling again, it's another plunge into the unknown.
So I run Phonics with Robot Reg, which is my own business. So I'm trying to juggle that alongside two children. I'm dreading it. Last time was just horrible.
The worst thing is the uncertainty of not knowing when this will end.
It will be a little bit tricky having the 3-year-old trying to homeschool, but we'll do our best, and what we can't do, we're not going to stress too much over, because, you know, a couple of months in their whole school life is not going to make a huge difference.
We know that when children do catch COVID, they're very unlikely to be badly affected. But a study just released by Imperial College London found the new variant is spreading quickest among the under 20s, and that it's spreading rapidly from them to older people. That's the big concern. Testing practice started today at secondary schools ahead of the planned staggered return for older children. The government line remains that closing primaries would be a last resort. But the question is, will plans change? And if so, for how long? Tessa Chapman, 5 News.